Hello, welcome to episode 13 of the Islanders podcast. My name is James.
My name is Daniel.
My name is Yen.
Welcome to season 2
Yeah.
of our podcast. And we had a break last week. Did you miss us? Did you listen to any other podcast? Hope you're back with us this
Yeah.
week. And we've been working, actually. We've been working hard on this podcast this season and also a new show, which we're going to share about this time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about a hackathon. Okay. So today will be more like tech-based podcast. A little bit on nerdy side, right?
Yes.
A lot of technical stuff.
Some terminology.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about hackathon. It is an engineer competition, for competitors to maybe they have a certain project to do and they have to do it within like 2 days. So you will not sleep it within these 2 days, and you
Mostly
work for,
overnight for the whole team.
Yeah, you work for like 24 plus hours, and then at the end you will demo it to the public, and then they will choose a champion. Okay. So today we're going to talk about that. Both me and Daniel, we went to our school's hackathon.
Yes. Meiju hackathon.
Yeah, in the past weekend.
Yeah,
and,
last
and we're going
weekend,
to talk
yeah.
about that today. Okay.
Yeah. So how did you two feeling like the best thing you have got from the hackathon event, the whole event? What do you think?
Well, it gave me the chance to have a look at the current development of the industry.
Oh, you say like how the industry is working on these technology
Yes.
projects.
What are they what problem are they trying to solve?
Yeah. How do they solve, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And in the grading part, they will give like higher points to the teams who solve their problems, like
Okay.
some real life problems.
Okay, so the hackathon you have been to is like the industries, maybe those companies that provide you some some problems they are now still struggling, and ask you to maybe try to find some solution to it or some.
Well,
No, I don't think they
Yeah.
have very vague topics. So they give you like a very big topic.
So you have
Maybe
to you have to define the problem by yourself.
yeah. And if your problem is their problem also, then you can get very high points
Okay.
in the competition.
Yeah. So how what is the question or the field the company chose for you?
So we were under the company KKBox. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a music streaming service here in Taiwan.
Here in Taiwan.
Very much like Spotify, right?
Very much.
Yeah, and so they have like their API.
Yeah.
They have their own like open API,
Yeah.
Maybe
and then they
you-
want us to make a service with this API.
Oh,
They
so
can
you
even-
have to design the service for them.
We can design like a new website that uses
Ah.
this API or like any service like this.
Okay.
Maybe you
Yeah.
can give us a brief introduction about API.
Yeah, API is application interface, programming interface. So it's basically like a database of some sort,
Yeah.
and then we can
And they will provide you a lot of
communicate. Yeah.
functions.
we can communicate
Where's
with
access?
this API, and then they will give us the information we want. Okay, so our service can maybe get the music from them or get artist names or something, or search from their API.
Although some playlist.
Yeah, and then get the information back to us. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, in this whole hackathon, what was it? What's the main problem you set up to kind of deal with by yourselves, your team, right? You have 4 or 5 people. In
Yeah,
the
we
team?
have 5 people.
You have 5
and we
people.
want to talk a little bit about the people who went to the hackathon with us, right?
Yeah.
So me and Daniel.
There are
and
2 of
also,
them.
Yeah, two of us, and Jin.
Actually,
from
Jin,
last time.
yeah. If you have heard
Yeah.
our podcast,
From last
Previous
from last
episode.
season,
yeah,
and another girl from Material Sciences.
yeah.
Yes.
Her name is Vera, and another
A
guy
junior.
another junior from Material Sciences. Yeah, so most of them don't actually have programming background,
Yeah.
Yes.
and I have only a little bit, and Jin is very good at it. Okay?
So what did you cooperate in this project?
Yeah, so me and Jin were doing the grunt work, the coding part, and then they would come up with ideas, and also make the PowerPoints and all
Oh.
that. Yeah, and the presentation. Yeah, the presentation
Yeah.
was something we scored high points on.
Oh, so you do the tech part, and other people do the
yeah,
presentation.
they do the branding and
The branding,
and the
yeah.
presentation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, it's kind of. It seems like the problem they get to you is very.
It's very
really
big,
vague, very
right?
big,
It's
and
very
you have
vague,
to
and it is,
you have to
don't
do something and actually present them.
Yeah.
You have to demonstrate.
Mhm.
So yeah, no matter you have to struggle in overnight
Yeah.
for these 2 days.
So the
Yeah.
event started on Saturday in the morning of Saturday,
Yeah.
Yes.
and so by the time of like a Saturday afternoon, we hadn't written a line of
That's
code
right.
yet. Okay,
Yeah.
so we were brainstorming from the morning to the afternoon, right?
Yes, to 2 p.m. I remember.
Yeah. So we had like this small whiteboard which Daniel brought,
Yes.
and it actually caught the attention of the photographer there.
Oh.
So because we were the only team to use the little whiteboard
Oh, so you have the discussion
to
based on
brainstorm,
the based on the whiteboard. You
and
just paint on it.
yeah, and the cameramen all
Oh.
came to our table, and they said, "Oh, this whiteboard is very cool.
Oh, very cool.
I think that's the
Yeah.
only thing they can understand.
yeah,
It's very cool. It's very useful
Yeah.
if you go to a hackathon to bring a whiteboard or an iPad.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think in the aspect of a photographer, if you're having a whiteboard and you're writing on something on them and trying to present your ideas to your teammates, and they're just down there listening to you, and you have discussions, it'll be a very building a very good
A story.
a photo with stories.
Yes.
It's a good
good.
dynamic between
Yeah,
like, the
between
teammates. Yeah,
Yeah, personally, I like whiteboards very much.
it's very useful,
Yeah,
extremely
very, very
useful, for us to visualize some ideas.
Yeah,
or like,
Yes.
to figure out what programming we had to do. Yeah,
I think my greatest contribution to this competition is bringing that
It's
Is
very-
that
whiteboard.
It's a
whiteboard?
very big
Yeah.
contribution. I would
Yes.
say. Yeah.
The discussion tool. Yeah, actually, some projects we did before, like I and James did before, you also use whiteboards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and personally, I like to use whiteboards to solve maybe math problems, or
Mm-hmm.
and you can just easily just revision your ideas or revision your
it's very good
yeah,
Yeah.
formulas or something, and it's very easy to use.
to
and-
brainstorm with it.
yeah. It's very intuitive tools.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yes, you can make sure everyone in the team understand your
Your language. Yeah.
your language.
Yeah, I would recommend like an
Visualize,
iPad if you have health concerns or anything.
Yes.
iPads are great too.
Yeah, actually, I and my roommates, like in the freshman year, one of my roommates from physics department, and
Mhm.
we're very actually at that time we study calculus and general physics were very
Well,
very
long
hardcore.
time
So
ago.
so actually we just we just bought a very wide whiteboard, and we just do a lot of calculations, a lot of discussions on that whiteboard, and always they just put onto the door of our dorm room. So every day I wake up or I open the door or close the door, I see the whiteboard and their formulas, and we can think about the problems. And
Yeah,
if we're get into some bottlenecks, then we
it
can
makes me
just-
want to get one actually.
Yeah,
in my
yeah,
room.
very,
Yeah,
very good.
I think it's useful.
It's useful, really useful.
Maybe I can be a whiteboard salesman.
Yeah, it's really nice. Anyway, so we came
Yeah.
up with this idea. So with the Open API, we wanted to build like a matching, a matching service.
Yeah, but KKBox is a music streaming service.
Yeah.
and you
Yes.
want to do some matching.
Because we wanted to, because with the topic they gave us,
Yeah.
they didn't want you to build new features for KKBox. They wanted you to
Ah.
use their Open API into other projects.
So
okay?
you have to have creative ideas.
Yeah. So
They want-
you wouldn't want to build new features for KKBox. So we did like a matching sort of website service, and so two users could get on the website, and then they could see their music taste compatibility.
so you can
Okay,
see each
yeah.
other's playlist, and maybe if you found someone having a similar playlist, or
Or maybe we can do the
match.
matching for them. Yeah.
Yes.
They do the matching for them.
So I would say our biggest breakthrough is to help visualize your music taste. And we do this by utilizing a matrix. Okay. So we will maybe sort your playlist into different genres,
yeah.
and then there will be a matrix that will represent your music taste.
Ah.
And so we could compare different matrices, and then we can see like if these two people have the same or similar music tastes.
Oh.
Yeah. So this was what we did in the hackathon.
Wow. That's a really tech
Yeah.
intensive process.
Maybe we can
Yeah.
explain this in a simpler way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the hackathon I've been to before, maybe in my high school time.
Mhm.
It's more like it's more nerdy. It's more techy.
This is also techy, very techy.
yeah, very very techy. But I think
Yeah.
at that time the thing I joined because hackathon actually this word is come from hack, the combination of hack and marathon.
Yeah.
So it's like you have intensive working on a certain problem, and you're struggling, trying to break through, maybe at the beginning point, and maybe the project can sustain or something. So, actually, I think it's actually comes from the hackers community, or maybe the open source, the programmers communities, and they just want to have an event that we can brainstorm together and work on together and just push a very very great thrust overnight, and everything is getting smoothly.
Yeah, I think with the
Afterwards,
time
yeah.
constraint,
Yeah.
they maybe encourage you to not to care about the little details.
Yeah.
But to grasp the general
the general
idea,
ideas,
and then maybe get a
yeah.
general solution for this kind of problems. Yeah.
To express your own creative idea, I think.
Yeah. Also that too.
Yeah, so like for you, like for me, the topic you're dealing with is more creative process.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a more
I would
Yeah,
say in
actually,
the beginning
in the
it's
beginning.
more like creative, but in
Yeah.
the end they want to
you
see,
have to do something.
they
for
want to see
demonstration.
you have the
Yeah.
really the project,
Actual,
the end project.
yes, the actual thing that works.
So as a spoiler, I would say we got a 4th place
Wow,
in our KKBox
that's
team.
really great.
But ultimately we lost because we didn't have the execution
Execution.
compared to the 3rd
Ah.
place. So our idea was good, but we didn't really write the code.
Yeah, maybe you don't
to
have enough.
perfection. Yeah.
Maybe programmer.
Yes.
Yeah,
Only
the
James
programming
and
power
Jen
is
can
a-
code.
Is a little
Considering you have only
weak. Yeah,
1/3 of your manpower is able for doing programming.
yeah, and also Jin was like studying for half the time. Yeah.
So he just sneaked out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a weaker programming power,
Weaker programming power.
but our idea was good.
Yeah. So I think.
Yeah.
Hackathon sounds like a nerdy thing. So I always think that those very skillful or very interesting in those technology skills or programming skills, those people will join these
Yeah, we were
events.
very pessimistic at the beginning.
Yeah.
We thought we couldn't do we couldn't make anything. But we
uh,
just tried our best.
Yeah.
And we
But
did something.
still
We had
serious.
something to present to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that in our team on the KKBox, they have 3 people, but only one of them can do programming.
Yeah.
One of them is like artist.
But also they spend like almost the whole time there, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they did not leave the table maybe at all.
Wow.
So it's
So they've done the work.
yeah.
They finished their
they
product.
stayed there
Yeah,
for,
stayed
for a
there.
long time.
Ooh.
And maybe he's very talented at making apps, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So different teams have different
Your style.
powers.
Yeah.
Yes, competitor don't. It's not necessary to be a computer engineer to.
Yeah. That's true.
Yes.
Yeah, but understanding some more knowledge about maybe the tech parts. That's you can know how far you can do through the APIs
Yes.
or the functions they provided.
Maybe the biggest part of this, the biggest takeaway from this hackathon is that you don't have to be a computer engineering to actually attend this competition, but you need at least one.
Yeah, you have a consult. You have one to consult.
Yeah, we
to
need
your
one
problems.
to make the problem,
Yeah.
make the
Practical.
thing,
Make the idea practical for programmers to just build it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of skills or the skill set or maybe mindset you got in this competition?
I think I learned a lot from Jin actually.
Ah, yeah.
First, I learned a lot from Jin and also a lot from our advisor.
Advisor.
From
So you have
from
like a
KKBox.
mentor or
Yeah, we have like
oh from KKBox. So
I would say
he's an
advisor.
engineer.
Yeah, he's an engineer at KKBox,
Wow.
senior engineering.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's very good. He wrote the whole KKBox API.
Oh, so he's the one who provided the service that you use.
Yeah, and he taught us a lot of skills to utilize the API.
Yeah.
You know.
That will be very good. If you
So it
have
makes me
someone
very
to do
interested
this.
in API actually. I would like to try to do more things with like Spotify API or something like that, because Spotify has a more
Specific,
expansive API.
expensive.
Like they have a lot of more info on the music they provide.
Yes.
They even have like BPM or like music analysis details on the
Wow.
music on the API they provide.
Oh.
In KKBox, they're mostly like buildings. They're still like beta features, so they're still not open to the public. Yeah.
So like for Spotify, they analyze those songs they provided.
Yeah, they
Provide
have the
to the
API
stream to the
for
customers.
these kind of information.
So you can
Yeah.
do a lot of things that you can compare to each songs to songs. You can maybe editing. You can edit, right?
No, you can't edit it, but you
it.
can get a lot of
Get a lot of
information from the
information.
songs. Yeah.
Oh,
And the
That's
second
very
thing I
cool.
learned a lot is from Jin, because he uses like website frameworks that I don't normally use. So I learned website developing in school, but it was just like some old technology, you know,
oh,
like a HTML or PHP. It's
but it's
quite,
basics here, right?
yeah, it's dated technology. But
Yeah.
but with Jin, he taught me a lot about maybe Node.js or a
Node.js.
lot of these JavaScript frameworks.
The latest
Yeah.
technology they use now.
So I came in without knowing anything about these frameworks, but with the skills I have in JavaScript, I was able to figure something out
Yeah.
and learn a lot from this kind of.
Yeah. So you actually
Yeah.
developed another branch of skills.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think this branch of skill is very
Useful.
easy to learn if you
Ah.
have somebody that can take you under the wing.
Under the
yeah.
way, yeah.
Because if
For a
you learn it by
teacher.
yourself, it's not that obvious or not that simple for you yourself.
You have to
yeah.
Google everything.
So the
Yeah.
two biggest gifts maybe I had from this competition is learn how to use the API and also JavaScript frameworks. Yeah.
Okay, that would be very good. So how about you, Daniel? Have you
Well-
learned any programming skill?
Well, actually, before decide to attend this competition, I had already learned Python for 2 months.
Oh, really?
Yes, but it's totally not enough though.
Yeah, for developing maybe a service.
Yes, I think at first I think that maybe after mastering Python, I can do lots of things with Python. That's true, but to develop a website or an app, it needs something more than that,
Yeah,
like
way
Java,
more than that. Yeah,
JavaScript and so on. So I can do nothing and just maybe yes, this basic programming knowledge help me to understand the conversation between James and Jim a little bit. I know what they're doing, but I can't help them.
Yeah, but for like your personal, from a personal view, what's the greatest takeaway you have got?
Well, maybe the experience, I think.
Experience,
Yes.
like how to develop these ideas, or maybe how do you cooperate with each other, or
Yes, teamwork and yes, in this competition, I realized that thinking some new ideas is really easy. Maybe
Easy,
not
yeah.
not that easy, but the key point is how to realize your idea.
Yeah, the execution,
how to
right?
how to implement
Yes.
those ideas into
Mhm.
reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be very. So is it very different from what you have imagined before you get into this competition?
Well,
I think it's mostly the same.
Oh,
right?
really? Yeah.
We found like almost,
Almost the same.
yeah, almost the same.
Yeah, that would be good.
But it was still fun to attend. It was really fun to attend.
Yeah, like in my imagination, I always thought hackathons like a very techy and everyone
It
just
is very
programming
techy.
together and
Like for our
Yeah.
group, the KKBox is a lot of programming. Yeah. And for like the other groups, they do a lot of machine learning and a lot of computer vision or something like that. Yeah.
yes.
it's like the one I attended before. Our team just we have to program and we use some Arduino boards. We have to do hardware stuff and
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
so is there any
depends really on
the topic.
it
you
depends
choose.
really on the company you go to.
Like
Like for the other companies like Chunghwa Telecom,
yeah.
they do like IoTs. So you have to
Oh,
get
you have
like
to
a
develop
Raspberry
some-
Pi or like something
Oh.
something with that.
yeah, some
You do
develop
something with that. Yeah.
develop boards for making hardware stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But it's quite interesting to implementing your
It
ideas
is
into
interesting,
reality.
but if we go to that hardware part, we can't do anything because we are
yeah,
not.
you have knowledge.
Yeah, we don't have
on that
knowledge
side.
on that side. Yeah, but
Yes.
it is fun too, also for them, I think.
Yes, it's quite interesting to see the other team's idea.
Yeah, they have like
Oh.
great ideas, and some are actually used in the industry.
That's really impressive.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, like, how
some,
many
like-
teams are they? Are there joined
Well,
the
I
whole
think for
event?
each company, there are like
Yeah.
8 to 10,
8 to 10.
7 to 8 teams.
Well,
right?
that's a lot.
Yes.
yeah, and they have
That's
like
plenty of them.
so they choose the top team of every company, and then they will compete
do the
against each
finals.
other.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
some really good ideas I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you about.
Yeah.
There was a company called Footprint Coup. Okay.
Footprint coup.
Uh,
Never heard about it.
It's about using AI to solve like electrical component problems. Okay, so they had this team that you could scan. You could enter like a component,
yeah.
and then
maybe a resistor or
and
maybe
it's
a
no.
capacitor
It's like
or-
maybe like an IC
oh,
component,
maybe I see.
and it's data sheet,
Yeah.
and then they will sort like the different pins for you, and you could see every pin. You could press a button,
Yeah.
and then you could see what pin does what on the data sheet.
Oh.
Yeah. So they use computer vision to analyze the IC chip, and then they search through the documentation, and then they put the description under the name.
Well,
Not very clear for me
Yeah,
to
I mean,
understand.
yeah,
it's
I
maybe
mean,
it's
it's
too
very hard to
technical.
say.
because they're user on normal
they're
people.
Yeah, they're users are engineers. They're
They
developing
solve, like,
tools for engineers, right?
They solve the problems of the corporate side.
For the corporate side,
yeah.
yeah.
I think they do like B2B.
So,
stuff.
B2B stuff.
They provide service.
So they provide
to-
a service to other companies.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to
there's
use.
some solutions for other companies to use.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's hardcore.
It
Yeah.
just amazes me that they do understand what the industry needs.
Yeah. Maybe they have mentors or
So they
advisors
got-
for them.
I mean,
to,
they got very high scores.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they think that this is actually a problem that the industry uses. Yeah.
and there's a problem need to be dealt with.
Yes.
Dealt
Yes.
with, yeah. Very good. And is there other projects that they have done that you're interested in, or you think their projects are very great?
There is one that solves your back problem.
Back problem.
Yeah, so they have like a
So
sensor,
literally back.
sensor
Your
and,
back.
yeah, and motor
Okay.
in your spine, and then it will adjust and then make you like sit straight.
That just sounds totally different from what you're doing.
Yeah, they
In
have
that
like
competition.
they have hardware, they have sensors
Yeah.
and motors, and then they will calibrate with their IoT server,
Yeah.
and then they can do the computing, and then they can help you adjust your position.
It's
Yeah.
like an
Yeah.
exoskeleton.
It's like
Exoskeleton. Yeah, that's really
I,
cool.
I think they won the grand champion
Oh, really?
for the hackathon. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. Wow.
hmm
Well, that's really amazing.
That's pretty impressive.
Ooh.
And the one I told you about was second place.
A second place.
So
yeah.
analyzing the IC components and then, marking their description below
Description?
the components. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, like the one I attended. I remember that the grand prize of that is a really cool project on. Yeah, it's also on hardware. It's like a vest, and you can put on the vest, and
Yeah.
there are a lot of vibrators on the vest,
Mm-hmm.
and there's also a camera. They put some cameras on your on their shoulders, and one of them is facing forward and one of them is facing backward. So they use visualizing to analyze what the camera saw, and if they saw if they're cars or if they're maybe some vehicles or people or maybe any obstacles, they will make that part of the vest, that direction of the vest, just vibrate. So that is designed for
people who
those
can
people
see,
who can
right?
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can instead of real vision, they can use the machine assisted vision for them to avoid obstacles. They use tentacle feedbacks for
Oh,
them
okay.
to
Tactical feedback
technical feedbacks for them to
for them to avoid
avoid
obstacles.
obstacles. Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
that's a really.
I think
cool
hardware
function.
has like an advantage in this kind of.
Ah, yeah,
competition.
that will be true.
Yeah, it's much harder to
To demonstrate that.
develop. I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that takes a lot of a lot of
work, a lot of
Work
work and,
and-
domain knowledge. I think.
yeah, really.
Yeah.
It's very amazing for them to have to come up with this idea and actually implement it into the.
Within 2 days.
Within
like
2
30
days, that's
hours.
crazy, yeah.
that's very impressive.
They don't
yeah.
have they don't have enough any sleep. I would say
Yeah.
maybe.
Maybe they had already started their project beforehand.
Yeah, that might be part of the truth. I don't know.
Yes.
Actually, I think for Logitech or
So
other companies,
Logitech's another company.
yeah,
Jay.
or like Zhonghua Telecom, it's hard
Yeah.
for them to start beforehand because they gave them the hardware on site.
so
at the
the
beginning of the
APIs
combination,
they
yeah.
didn't
No,
get you.
also the hardware. So they
Hardwares.
had to develop stuff for their keyboards or their
Oh.
yeah. So they could only do it on site, so they
Yeah.
could not hack it beforehand.
That would be more fair, I'd say.
Yeah, but for
For the
software, I
competition.
think you could actually write something beforehand. Yes.
So you know about the topics you're going to.
No, we know
Probably
about the
gonna work
topics
with.
on the day, but you could
Yeah.
use their API beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at first I expect that it will give us some specific detail about the project that we are going to do.
Oh, so you think?
Yeah, I
they're
thought
going
that
to give
also,
you a
but they
prompt?
didn't give us anything.
It just explain how to use the API instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they expected us to come up with our own ideas. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of the groups didn't sleep, actually. But actually, if you go to a hackathon event, I would recommend sleeping a little bit.
A
It's
little
going to
bit.
help you go over the next day.
Yeah. So how did you sleep? You take sleep.
Yeah,
You take
I had
turns
I think they slept like regularly, right?
regularly.
They slept like
they just
when-
you just
like
they
we
just were
ended
on.
like from on Saturday we started from 9 o'clock a.m. right,
Really.
and then we worked till like 12 o'clock p.m. No, at night, 12 o'clock midnight.
Oh, so you're not enjoy the hackathon thing.
No, I think they worked from Saturday 9 o'clock
Yeah.
to 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
At
I
night,
think it's
right?
normal hackathon.
And then they went
when
to sleep.
do that.
They went to sleep, and
Yeah.
then for the next day they came at 9 o'clock. Yeah.
Well, if I have something to do, I may not want to
No
sleep.
sleep.
But
Yeah, but since you can't do nothing on programming part,
Yeah,
so
so you
I
have
did-
to give those to pros.
Yeah, so I had to do like a lot of programming. So I slept at 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock,
6
and I came back to
It's just
the,
only
like
3
2-3
hours.
hours. But it's enough for me to last the second day.
So your attention didn't get wandered
I mean,
wandering
like-
around.
By the afternoon at the second day, but it was already
It's
the
already
end of the
end
demo.
of
The demo
demos.
already ended. So
The competition's
so it was all
finished.
right. Yeah,
I think IPE trained your liver well.
I think sleeping a
Really
little
well.
bit is better for the next day.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, or you wouldn't,
Oh.
or you can't. Like,
It would
last that
definitely
long.
help.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that you're taking turns to get into sleep. Maybe you sleep 1 hour and then maybe
No,
Daniel just
no,
wake
no.
you up and you sleep another 1 hour, and then
No.
you just take turns to rest.
The only thing I can do in the competition
Ah.
zone is go to the stand of Logitech and play the computer.
Computer?
Yeah,
Yes.
they had stands.
they provide
for,
the stands
for every
for you.
corporate.
They
yeah.
demo is their stand have some
So you can play games at Logitech. So they
Yes.
use their
Huh.
keyboards and their
Really?
mouse. So you can play games, and you can also play like
Wow.
racing games. And
So they provide some entertainment and
Yeah,
refresh
yeah,
yeah.
for you.
so
For
you
to-
can go there and
So if you're getting
relax a
programming
little
and become very very tense, then you can get to some
Relax.
games to relax yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really great. So, yeah, actually, about this hackathon, a very big, a very big thing I want to ask about you is how's the food?
Well, I have to give some compliment to the host of
To the
hackathon.
organizers.
Actually, I do because the in the first day
Yeah,
the lunch was really amazing.
amazing.
Amazing. Maybe
you use amazing. You use this term to describe lunch.
yes in Hsinchu.
Okay. Yeah. So what kind of lunch you have?
It's a buffet,
Oh,
Chinese
it's a
buffet,
Chinese buffet. Ah.
but the quality is really high.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that would be cool.
It might be the most delicious buffet I have ever tasted in Hsinchu.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So actually, and there's a Facebook society on. There's a site on Facebook that is for maybe the students in our college and NCTU, another college that's beside us. So the whole meaning of the society, the club is the Facebook club is selling this the second-handed the used things for others that other students who wants to get something used. So actually, I saw just maybe your lunch, maybe your dinner, and they posted
Dessert.
there are a lot of things a lot of foods that after you have finished, and they just post the rest onto that Facebook club and ask if they want to have some, wants to share the rest of the food. And actually, I and my roommates just got one whole box of pizzas. The whole box. They haven't been eaten any pieces yet. The whole rounded pizza. So I've seen that. I thought that maybe you got really good. They fed you very well. During the whole event.
I asked the worker who was responsible for booking all these meals.
Oh, really?
They told me that it costs about 250 for the meal.
250.
Yes,
For every
for
meal.
each person.
Yeah.
For each person.
Yes.
A meal. Wow.
And we
That's quite
only
high.
paid $400 a person each for these
For
2
attending
events.
this.
Yeah.
Oh,
And we
So
can.
I think they had a lot of sponsors
Yes.
from the corporate.
yeah. You have lots of companies to provide your problems. They're sponsors.
Sponsors.
Right? Ooh.
Hmm.
So how did you after this event? Have you been to other hackathon before, or this is the first time?
No, this
you've
is the
been
first
to?
time for
Yeah,
I think
for you.
all of us. Yeah.
All of them. So, how did you think about this event? Is it so? How did you maybe can you do some reflection on this hackathon event? Is there anything you want to talk about
Well,
the organizing or scheduling or?
I think overall it was a pretty good event.
Mm.
They scheduled the events nicely,
Yeah.
except for the
Except for-
final part, the ending. The
Oh.
ending of the
Yes.
competition. It took
Okay.
too long. They had like the
A
vice
ceremony or something.
mayor. Yeah, the ceremony. They had this vice mayor of Hsinchu,
Of Hsinchu.
City, and she just went
The
on
governors,
and on
the governors,
and on.
they.
She just went on
And
and
on.
on and on.
My heart will go
And
on.
by this time, everybody was so tired because we had 2 days of
yeah.
work to do.
That's crazy.
And then we were all waiting because we couldn't leave because they had a lottery event at the
Lottery,
very end of
Yeah.
this event.
that was the only reason that
And so
we stayed.
everybody stayed there and listened to her babble on and on for literally talking nothing to speak of. And we didn't know why she was there and why she had to speak this much.
You just lay down and took a nap.
Yeah. I mean, it's not nice for the
For the competitors.
competitors. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
already very tired.
Very
and-
tired. Yeah.
Yeah, she
They're
just-
all used. Energy used it.
Yeah, I don't like when.
Yeah,
I don't
the
like. I
government.
don't like
That's the governors.
when the government comes to this kind of events. When
Yeah.
politicians come to events like this because they don't have nothing to contribute to
yeah,
this.
and
event.
there's no connection between
Yeah.
Maybe-
their works and those organizers' works.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
the
So
Hsinchu
it's,
government was one of the sponsor.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah,
that will
but you
certainly
know,
be true.
still,
But
it's
still-
like,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so only that part?
And
Is there a
well,
good part?
Well, I do have some reflection on this competition.
Okay.
Because my profession is material
Material
science,
science, yeah.
and chemistry.
Yeah. So you have totally no use on this kind of techie
Yes, my own knowledge is irrelevant about this
about this project.
Yes. I do wonder, can material science hold such event like this? Maybe a material
On material
hackathon?
science?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I soon realized that in my own project, material science project experience, if you want to synthesize one material, it takes more than 3 days.
Okay.
Yes, maybe you,
Comparing to programming, that's maybe a
Yes.
century comparing
Yes. If
to build a program.
you can test your idea very quickly when
Yeah,
programming,
yeah.
but when doing experience, it do takes lots of time to do some measurement.
Yeah, I really enjoy the ability to rapid prototype, like what we have, what we want to do, and to make it like in 24 hours.
Yeah, I always think that's
It's very cool. You can validate your
Yeah.
idea like so quickly.
actually
Yes.
the computer science, the information and engineering. I think the most valued part on all these technologies that you can rapid prototype everything,
You
and
can do everything.
you can
We
do everything,
anything.
anything.
Yeah,
And
I would
Yes.
say that is our
that
superpower.
you have the computer,
Mhm.
which
we don't need like
you, and you have
equipment
electricity,
or like
yeah,
any other stuff.
instruments, or you don't
Yeah.
don't need any stuff.
Yeah, we don't have
Yeah.
to buy like experimental stuff.
Yeah, like those who
Like,
do the physics, maybe.
Yeah, like
Atomic
metals
physics,
or something.
they have
we
to-
don't have to do that.
Yeah,
We can just use our computer and then
and then you can do a lot
Make
of things.
something great,
Make
yeah.
something.
Yes, that's exactly one of the reasons why I'm studying Python in this semester.
Yeah.
yeah, it's very cool. I would say.
Yes.
And I'm happy I'm in this
This,
I use this
domain,
as my
yeah.
profession. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day I can get a job in
In computer
yeah.
science, yeah.
Maybe
Or like front end building or something like that. Yeah.
yes, maybe you can consider to join KKBox.
Yeah, we almost got an internship at KKBox.
Oh, really?
If we got third place, then we would have an internship at KKBox.
Oh, so the companies to provide
Yeah, they provide
internship
internships,
opportunities.
For Logitech, they gave you keyboards and mice, gaming keyboards and mice. And for the first place of
That's
their,
benefits.
yeah, also the first place they could go to Logitech to intern.
Yeah.
But for KKBox, they gave internships to all three places.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
But I think
Oh,
you
that'd be
still
great.
got some chance to
Yeah, I
have an
think
internship.
Maybe next year. Maybe
Yeah.
if I
Yes.
can attend next year.
Yeah, though
then
they're
maybe
not
I
very
can, yeah.
famous throughout the whole world, but actually there's quite a big company.
It's still a big
in
company here in Taiwan.
Asia.
and
Yeah,
you
I think in
can
Asia.
still learn a
yeah.
lot from working
We're
there.
working
I
there.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can take all these experience that you have in using other platforms and maybe improve on their
Yeah.
product
So it's like a
if we get there.
Yeah, I would say a hackathon is like a sprint on your ideas. You just get through all these. You don't care about that much, and
Yeah.
just trying to break through the main obstacles you have had in front of you.
And
Yeah.
and one important thing is they wanted us to focus on just one feature
Yeah,
and just build that feature.
to focus,
Yeah.
to
To be
get-
And
practical.
not care about the other details, but
Yeah.
just build that single feature and make it work. And
Yeah, and,
that was
and
what
then
they
make sure that
required from us. Yeah.
yeah,
It's really a practical advice.
yeah.
Yeah.
So another question for you is that you said that this competition is mainly held by a lot of companies. They give you some problems, or they give you some ideas on how to define your problem. So is there any maybe more things on? Is there any industry part you have learned throughout this competition? Maybe you learn more about how those engineers in the company do work on
Think on
projects.
problems.
Yeah.
Maybe the thinking process. I think.
Thinking.
Yes, since
thinking
currently
process.
we are students, right?
Yeah.
What we learn is theories.
Okay.
Yes, but for company they focus more on hand-on experience or practical practical
That's
skills.
Practical. They have to make products
Yes,
for.
there's a huge gap between academic and industries.
Also,
But we really didn't see that much of this kind of phenomenon
Yes,
at the
In
event
that
because we
event.
didn't see how they really worked.
work together.
We just try to build something ourselves. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's enough for this segment, and we'll
Yeah.
take a short break. We'll come back after the break. Hello, welcome back.
welcome back.
Welcome back.
First, I want to talk about today's playlist. So for the new season, I had a new playlist for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, and today's playlist is called Vibin.
Vibing.
So
Okay, do you know
is-
what vibing means?
Yeah, the vibe.
I don't have no idea how to spell it.
The vibe is VIBE. It's short for vibrations.
Vibration,
Okay, so
vibing,
it's
vibing.
basically saying that you have a good energy. Okay,
Yeah.
good energy in maybe in your room or something, and it's basically you can say it's like a songs that make you feel good. Okay,
Mhm.
or make you feel like comfortable.
Well,
Okay, or maybe a little bit sleepy sometimes. Okay, so today I have a lot of John Mayer in this playlist,
In his playlist.
and I really enjoy his guitar playing, and also his voice is
Voice
very
really
soothing. Hmm.
yeah.
And
Very
besides,
relaxing.
Besides John Mayer, I also have something from The Script.
Yeah.
So this is also a band I really like. It's very songs that make you feel good
Yeah.
about yourself.
Yeah.
And also a little bit of Stevie Wonder. Have you ever heard of
Stevie
a song
Wonder?
called "Isn't
Yeah.
She Lovely"? It's a favorite song of mine. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is the playlist for today.
Okay, so let's get back to the topic. We're continuing discussing the topic about hackathon.
Yeah.
So after the whole event, is there some pros and cons you can you've got with this whole event?
well,
You think about hackathon.
maybe we can talk about pros and cons for company and for student, even
For company.
for the competition itself.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're saying the sponsors, right?
yes, the
That's
sponsor.
the companies who join this event to provide you ideas or fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, and technical support.
I think they have a lot of branding in the competition.
Yeah, that's
So they get
true.
all their logos and the
Yeah.
press, because it's a good event for them.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
to build like good
A
corporate.
good corporate, two good
yeah.
No wonder we have
Pronounced.
so much sponsor in this competition.
Yeah, because it's good for them, good for the press,
Yes.
and so they provide with like the equipment or like mentoring or like a little bit of money as a prize,
Yeah.
and then we can build maybe like good ideas, some good ideas for them to maybe think about or
To consider,
yeah,
They-
to
they mean-
consider.
yeah, I think companies always have a list of what we're going to do next.
Yeah,
So
and I
all
think
of
they
these, we
have like
choose one.
sometimes they will also get into like an impasse maybe
Yeah.
that they can get through, and also maybe this is some kind of brainstorming event for their employees
them,
also.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's fun for everybody, right?
Yeah.
They're also building like a new talent to go into the company maybe one day. Yeah.
Yeah, and also it's also the process of cultivation.
Hmm.
You just put these students it's like getting connection with skilled students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also think it's very good because they inspire students to take part in learning skills that are related to this
related to
company,
the
yeah.
company, related to the industry.
like I think KKBox inspired me a lot
Yeah.
during this competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like the API you use
Yeah.
during the whole process.
So this is what I would say: the pros for the company and also for the students. We can
Yeah.
learn a lot from the companies. Yeah.
But
So how do you
some-
think about our students?
But some may
Ah.
criticize that company will hold this competition and take the idea from the student.
Oh, you mean
Maybe their real goals is real purpose. It was not holding this competition.
so you're like
was like taking free ideas from
From the students. right?
yes.
oh, so you're like harvesting those
Yes.
ideas from students who brainstormed all these. But I
Yeah.
think
But I think it's not that bad because I think
Yeah.
maybe our ideas are actually not that good enough for industry
For industry
standard.
standard. Yeah,
And
I think they
it's,
will have their process of kind of accumulating their ideas for
yeah,
doing new projects or having new services
and also a lot of idea
Yeah.
validation
Yeah.
in the company.
in the company. Yeah,
I think they're
would
just
say.
trying to help students or cultivate like new talent for the company. Finding new talent, I think, is something that is very
that they care
important
much
for them because they provide internships.
to
Yeah.
So
those
the best students
with us.
can go to their company and maybe influence their company decision there. Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe
Yeah.
stay and get a job there, right?
And if those students got very very great ideas, and the company takes it takes those ideas, that won't be a bad thing either.
Yeah,
Yes.
they'll probably invite you to work there.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
Realize the ideas.
It's like
Yeah.
doing social responsibility.
Yeah, a little
Maybe
bit.
part of it.
But I think mostly they're also good for the company, for growing their company.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like for students, what do you do as students? So how do you think about the pros and cons for you students to join these kind of events?
I think we can, brainstorming is obviously a very,
yeah.
big part of it. And, getting in touch with corporate people, contacts,
It's like advisors
getting
you have
contacts
got.
from these engineers are
Yeah.
very helpful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're
Is there
very
cons?
talented people from the
From the
companies.
companies.
Because the company advisor of us, they wrote the whole API.
Yeah.
And he was very talented and he really knows his stuff,
Yeah.
and so he provided us with a lot of insight of the company
On your products.
and helped us a lot too. hmm
Hmm.
Before the competition, he actually
Before.
posted a video of him talking to us about the APIs.
Oh really?
Yeah, and it helped
Wow.
help us a lot. He
How
told
thoughtful
us how
he
to
is.
set up the API,
Ooh.
and during the competition, when we had questions, we could go to his booth and ask him for a long time,
Wow.
and he would help us debug and all that. Yeah,
It sounds like a
Yes.
very, very great support for you.
yeah, it's really great guy.
Yeah.
And even when we were at the demo, he was very supportive, and he talked to us also after the competition.
Yes.
A really nice guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
really nice guy.
I remember that you and Jane even add him as Facebook friends.
Yeah, we had his Facebook friend.
Yeah,
and
really?
we had like we took photos together with.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, so it was like more like a networking event by that
Yeah,
point,
that was true.
and that's also really nice.
Yeah, I think for companies or for those engineers, they also will glad to see that your talented students, or maybe the students who are interested in this field,
Yeah,
they maybe
I think they
get
want to
connect
see
with
people
them.
who are interested
Yeah,
in
yeah.
learning, and
learning on the
Mm-hmm.
professional fields you have had.
yeah. Like on a side note, when we were doing our magazine, like in
in
previous
the
years,
yeah.
when there were new people who were coming to our group,
Group.
we were very happy to teach them what we knew.
Yeah.
And I think they have like we were happy to give them
Our
everything,
experience and
we
our
have.
knowledge we have.
and maybe they can do greater stuff than what we
and,
did. Yeah.
and we can work as a team and
Yeah.
making better works for
so
by ourselves.
coming back to the magazine group, well,
really?
the people who we taught in the beginning actually eventually became very, very great people, and they also had their own independent projects
Yeah.
that are very good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
even better than us.
yeah,
Yeah.
actually, they've done a greater projects on a bigger magazine.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah,
cool.
in another
and
event.
it's very happy for us to see this kind
yeah.
of thing. And I imagine it's the same for the
the
engineers at
engineering
KKBox,
side.
at Logitech, and all that. Yeah.
And yeah, actually, they have taught like maybe their junior classmates or their newcomers the skills they have developed in the whole process. So it's very glad to see that they've developed more skills or having more networking than
Yeah. Also,
Yes.
in this area, in Hsinchu, this area,
yeah.
with Tsinghua University and Jiaotong University, and all the industry that surrounds
us.
it's very heavily based on networking. Actually,
Yeah, that's
like
true.
for
That would
the-
be true. Totally
yeah, for
true.
the older classmates to actually help the newer students. They have like this sort of network, even
Yeah.
though
Yes.
even at the company, right?
Yeah, that would be true.
So it's always like helping one another.
One another.
Yeah.
Well, for competition itself, I think that since Hackathon is a competition-based event,
Yeah.
in this competition, it focuses more on the practical use of your idea.
Yeah.
Yes, the judge will give the team whose idea is more close to the market higher grades.
Okay, so they score the business part very, very
Mhm.
yes,
much. They score them very
They want to see if this product
It's practical
is
into the
practical
market.
enough for the market. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's heavily based on the idea and execution. It's the two most important points I
Yes.
think
Yeah, so I
they
say
emphasize on. Yeah.
if is in this point of view, the insights you have had in defining what's the problem you're going to solve is really, really important, right?
Yeah, and I would say not only for engineering skills, you have to have
Yeah.
Marketing skills.
You have to have the
like
view
business
around
skills.
the
Yeah.
Yes.
So we had a little bit experience in the business side of things. So we were, maybe
Okay.
scored a little bit more in that part.
in that part, yeah.
And our presentation was ultimately better than
Than others,
the
who
other
were not.
teams who had the same idea. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But first
there's
place
another
was-
another team.
There are a
who
lot of
has-
teams who have the same idea
Oh, really?
as us, yeah. But we scored pretty well in the presentation
Yeah.
and technology part.
Oh.
But we lost because we didn't have the better execution and all that.
Execution.
Yeah. But the first place of KKBox was really good.
It's
They
amazing.
built like a song guessing game.
Guessing?
App. They
A
built
guessing
an
app.
Yeah. And they only had 3 people. And one
Wow.
was doing the branding, and one did the illustrations, and one did the writing of the app.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Really cool. Only one guy to do
Mhm.
The collaboration is was really clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they're really familiar to each other. They're really
Yeah,
good
I think
friends, and
they
have
are. Yeah, I think they have.
cooperate in other other different
projects
projects
also,
also. Yeah,
I think a lot of people maybe are there their second time or their third time in
to
the
join
hackathon.
the
Yeah,
hackathon.
Seasoned player.
yeah. I would
Yeah.
like to join another time because it's
Maybe form a more mature
Yeah.
group,
because
more
the next
mature
time
team.
the next time you enter, you're gonna get better.
yeah.
Yes, because at first,
It takes efforts.
before thinking our new ideas, we didn't really know what did KKBox API can provide us.
Yeah.
What kind of information they can
Mhm.
give.
Yeah,
So
you have to
we-
really get into the
Yeah, we should
the
have
core of the
done
problem.
more research beforehand.
Yes.
Before we
yeah.
build the idea. Yeah.
That would be true.
Mhm.
Yeah, since you only have 2 days to do the real work
Yeah.
on the problem.
I think there are 2 points that you can improve the hackathon. I think.
Yeah.
The first part is maybe the corporate would like to hear more about the students' feedback.
Oh.
Okay, so we didn't have a chance to maybe give our feedback on their API
yeah.
back to the company,
Company.
and maybe I think it's valuable for them to have this kind of information.
And they also have
Yeah.
to develop other services from
Yeah, I think-
by their own APIs.
Yeah, I
right?
think we should have a time to talk back to the corporate
yeah,
and
yeah.
tell them something. About
And that would be
their-
beneficial to both
Yeah,
of you.
their products.
Yeah.
And second of all, I think we should not only focus on vertical networking but also horizontal networking.
How
And what I
much-
mean by that is that because the teams compete against each other, so we didn't really social with the other teams. And I think it would be more helpful if
But you still have
could-
energy to social with each other. It's a 2-day competition that's overnight.
I mean,
and-
it's tough, but it's actually
Well,
it's not that tough.
yeah.
I mean,
that's
you
true.
don't have to do coding like 24/7.
Yeah, but I think they held a kind of little contest on maybe the games or
Yeah, but
Yes.
I think you still could do like more of a
Ah,
technical
yeah.
side to maybe corporate
more
with,
social.
yeah, maybe
side.
team up with other teams or maybe you can
Yeah, yeah.
discuss a little bit.
Yeah, you have Team A team up with Team C, and
Yeah.
they have alliance on C and
Because
D.
even in corporate, I think you still have to work across teams, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Also, meeting new people is always nice.
Yeah.
So we didn't have the chance to do that, and I wish we had a chance to do that.
Okay.
That's 2 points that I wanted to share. Yeah. How about you, Daniel?
Quite reasonable.
Well, not much. You had already said
That's-
what I want to share.
Okay.
okay.
And by the way, I also got a Logitech mouse from the lottery. It was really
Oh, really?
nice.
You
Yeah.
got to win the lottery.
I won a mouse. Yeah.
You always
wireless
won,
mouse.
right?
Yeah.
Or it's a new one.
It's a new one.
Oh.
Maybe
I won it
you-
from them
You have already run out of your luck in this
Yeah.
lottery.
a little bit.
Yes.
It is a
Um,
reward of your persistence.
The biggest prize
Ah,
was a Google Pixel.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then there
That's
was
a really expensive
also a
one.
Switch.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only reason that keep us
To listen to
the vice mayor's
babbling.
Yes.
Yeah. A lottery motivates people. Okay.
Yeah, I really like this hackathon. In conclusion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell by what how'd you state about this
Yeah.
event.
So, will you consider to attend Hackathon next year?
I will if I have a
Definitely,
chance. I want to
yeah.
build a team.
A
So
stronger team.
I wouldn't
for
say
it.
stronger.
Oh.
I actually invited them all back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but some of them are not.
You're
going
not
to
quite
be at
interested
school
as-
next year.
Oh,
And,
yeah, graduated.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
what kind of team would you like to build?
Yeah. How about your like ideal team of working on the certain project? You say.
Actually, I really enjoyed the team we had this time.
Yeah.
You know, perhaps I would add another programmer.
Yes,
Another
definitely.
program.
But I don't think 2 programmers are really too little. You know, because we didn't work full time.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And actually,
so
if
if we
they're
work harder, then maybe 2 programmers is enough.
Yeah,
and
and
I think we need a project manager. I think
yeah.
we need to maybe you can write down, you know, who to do what tasks at what time.
Okay. The assignments and
Maybe a
Yeah.
designer.
actually, designer. Yeah, that's maybe a big part. And actually, if there's maybe up to 3 or 4 programmers, maybe you cannot focus on the certain problem together. You have to program.
Yeah, I think programmers don't
Yeah.
need that much programmers because we need to build features one by one.
Yeah, you
Yes.
can't. You,
Also,
you cannot do
I think
the
it's hard
parallel
for
developments.
programmers to develop at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe we can build a team with variety skills.
Yeah.
Skills.
Variety. Yes.
But a designer, I think it's not
That-
not essential.
yes.
I would say
Yeah.
Mm.
because they score mostly on
Final
Technical
part.
technical side of
Technical
things. Yeah.
Yes.
Next time if I enter, I would spend more time programming, and
Do the
maybe I
real
will
works.
have a little more confidence. That is the difference between this time and next time. Because this time we came in without any
Background knowledge.
any ambition,
Oh,
Yeah.
so to
Okay.
speak, and yeah. So we basically lost at the beginning, but yeah.
But it's still a great experience for you.
Yeah, so we have to maybe believe in ourselves a little bit more next time. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, any other feedback on this topic?
No, I think.
Okay, then we'll talk about anything, right? We'll talk about season 2. Okay, we're starting season 2 right now, and we're trying to be more true to ourselves in this season, right?
Yeah.
We have a lot of good topics prepared for this season.
For this season, yeah.
We're actually I'm thinking about new ideas every day, and
Yeah,
I'm thinking
yeah,
about
yeah.
how to make this podcast better and more accessible every day.
And actually,
Yeah.
we also like to share more of our stories.
Yeah,
to-
we like to
you.
share like
And our
people.
thoughts, yeah.
We also want to build character for ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff I didn't talk about in the season review actually. In the last season, I think
But
I
I
missed
think
a lot
you
of points.
I think
last
you
time.
should keep it in the season 2 review.
Oh, but season 2 review we would have new ideas, right?
Yeah, maybe.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about season 1, maybe season 2, or
Okay,
ideas
yeah.
for season 2,
Okay.
because this was like a shorter episode. So, yeah, Hackathon was fun, but we really couldn't expand it to 1 hour. Yeah, it's really just a simple event. Yeah. So, we will talk a little bit about our new show, maybe. Yeah. So with season 2, we're going to actually also have a new show,
New
right?
show. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a new program.
This new show will be filmed by our video camera.
Whoa. That
Okay.
would be exciting.
And it's called Mask Off. I think it's the working title
yeah.
of the new show. And if you do have any ideas on names? I do think
Name?
this is
It's about
workable. Yeah.
So what's the idea? What's the original idea of this name?
Because this is sort of like a debate show or like a talk show.
Yeah.
that
Yes.
We want to be our true selves.
Yeah, and what should try to
Okay,
get
in
more
front of the
intensive
camera.
our try to face the real thoughts we have had in,
And we also film it. So basically we cannot hide, behind like
behind
a
the
microphone or anything. Yeah, so we call it Mask Off. We wanted
Yeah.
to be as honest as possible.
Get
Okay.
straightforward.
So this is a
on to our
phrase.
ideas.
This is a phrase that means that you are honest as possible.
yeah.
hmm And we want it to be like a controversial show,
Yeah.
maybe 10 minutes every week,
Yeah.
and we want to engage the audience a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So on that show, we will reveal our faces and it's gonna be a more tense show,
So,
like more
yeah.
serious.
Trying to
than,
create more
than
tension.
This show, yeah.
Yes.
We want to experiment with tension, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also see how do you feel about having seeing or listening to these tensions we have expressed through
Yeah, or maybe we'll call it the tension
the
project,
audio. Yeah, maybe
tension experiment,
tension experiments. Yeah.
something like that. We will work out a
Yeah.
working title, and
Yes.
and we filmed it actually just now. And
Yes,
it was
with
tense.
3 cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
a new
were.
test.
It was a little bit tense, but
Yeah.
actually, I'll edit it and then we'll see how it goes. I'm not giving any promises on when it's gonna air.
It's coming there.
Okay, but,
Yeah,
but we'll
that takes
work on
time.
it. We're developing it right now,
Yeah.
and
So make sure.
yeah, because with podcasts we don't really need to develop a show, right?
Sure.
But with this new show, we really have to work on the logistics, the production, and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I
Mhm.
think also we also think about accumulating other skill sets is also very critical for us to expand our maybe expand what we are going to talk about.
Yeah.
And make this entertainment more integrate.
Hmm.
Let's say.
I think being an engineer is very much like being a YouTuber. It's mostly the same thing. Some people call it social engineering.
social engineering.
How do you grab audiences? How do you read the data
Yeah.
that gives
Yeah,
they
there's
give
always
it back to
problem after
Mhm.
problems. You solve one by one.
you? Yeah, you have to solve a lot of problems. You
Yeah.
have to have
And-
strategies.
Yeah, and to gain new
experiments
knowledge,
and all
new
that, yeah.
skills, and to
I learn
get
everything.
into-
I learn a lot of things every day.
yeah.
I learn new things every day. Yeah.
I think that's why creative process just attractive to those who to those creators
Yeah.
because they're just keep learning new things and
Mhm.
keep having new insights on like having different aspects on different kind of problem, different kind of knowledge, and they also maybe they have chance to get new networking or maybe
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think
Yeah.
that's why front end designing is maybe this attractive to me
yeah.
because it combines like the engineering part and also creativity part.
Yeah.
Which I think I have to have an outlet for my
your
creativity sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so this hackathon is one of the kind of the biggest competition, I would say, maybe in the recent months.
Yeah.
So
So
actually
we're going back to hackathon again.
yeah.
That was okay.
Yeah. So actually, we both of us have been to some competition.
Yeah,
Before.
we went to a lot of the
Yeah, student competition. They're just
yeah, and we have a lot of ideas, and we try to bring them to market,
Yeah.
and we have all these business plans that we present to the judges.
So is there anything you want to talk about?
I think we went to
on
like
those competitions.
we went to a business event, right?
Yeah,
business
one,
competition.
business one. Yeah,
From our last idea.
it's a startup
yeah,
competition,
it's a
right?
startup competition. There are a lot of these kind of startup competitions.
Recently,
at our
in these
school,
years, yeah.
And in joining them, I feel like they put the emphasis on the business plan and a lot of and how good your idea is.
Yeah,
And a lot of that is very subjective. It is very it depends on how the judge
feel
right?
you.
Mhm.
And actually, it's more like in the real world, in the real startup world, the judge is the market. The market decide if your startup live or
Yeah.
die.
And I think
Yeah.
it's more for business students.
Yes.
Yeah.
For us, we're not that good at the business side of things. We cannot get a advantage over
On
like
this,
business
yeah.
students. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes. And their presentation is always
better.
amazing.
I think
Better
there is
than
like a certain style to startup.
Yes.
Yeah,
presentations. Like,
There's
they
a
use like a certain art
there's an
form or, like,
ABC
something,
for
yeah.
startup presentations.
Mhm. Yeah.
10 minutes to get through the product
Yeah.
startup presentation. They have a
Mhm.
standard, I say.
The starter pack. I would
Yeah,
say.
a template. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that works.
So I
most of
didn't
them.
really enjoy that.
Bracket.
I think, and a hackathon is a little bit different, but still has some elements of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
Yes.
you can actually prove your ability through programming.
through the program.
Yeah, and that is what I think is the most different between this kind of competitions and business competition.
It combines both hard hard and soft ability,
Strength.
a strength.
And I also think that maybe the term or the how they state the startup, the whole startup thing is kind of like more exaggerated, or
Yeah.
it's more like they state that as if you had a great idea and you have to work hard to realize it or implement your ideas, and then you can get into a startup company and you can maybe just launch your new business. But actually, it's very 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 hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
There's
long
so
process
much to think about. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, you
Yeah.
look at the statistics. There's
A lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't actually go to
go to the market.
Yeah.
They just
it's more like
they just died.
a simulation or something.
Yeah. So
And for us engineering students, we hate the stuff that
stuff.
cannot become real. You know, we want
Yeah.
to build real things.
Yeah. So there's only 3% of those startups who can survive in the
Yeah.
first maybe 5 years.
Mhm.
So that's a probability that's too low for us to.
For
We're
us
willing to try
to
or
invest
willing
a lot
to invest a
of
lot of
energy
resources,
into it,
energy
yeah.
into it.
So I think a lot of engineering students just decide to go to big companies, where they
companies.
can, they have projects that will 100% go to market or like 90% go to market.
Yeah.
They just have to work on it.
But,
work on some parts.
but I think that even if in large companies, if they want to bring out new services or new products, they also have to been through that kind of same process.
Same process. But they have a lot of resources.
Yeah, to
I
do
would
all
say
of
that
these,
is-
and they have a
that
lot of
is the difference,
experience,
yeah.
and they have idea validation.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of
They have a
background
whole
support on
structure
it. Yeah,
to
support,
make sure your project works.
goes well.
I would say.
Yeah. and enough resource to
To realize
To-
them.
Yeah, to realize.
to
that,
realize
yeah.
it. And also, if their products or service failed, they can come
They can come back from
come
it
back from
relatively easily.
yeah, relatively easily. They can
Mhm.
yeah. That's why they're big companies. Yeah,
But at the end of the day, I would say idea is still king.
still
Idea
yeah.
is still the most important part. And I think maybe 60% idea and 40% execution, I would say.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah, and also true with what we did in the
True with
hackathon. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that's about it for today.
Yeah,
And we'll
Yes.
see you next week for another season 2 episode.
And
And
make
we're
sure-
happy you're back with us on season 2. And there are a lot more episodes to come.
yeah. And make sure you follow
us on Spotify, on Google Podcasts, on anywhere you can find us, Apple Podcasts or whatnot. Yeah, we'll work hard to bring like all these new content
Yeah.
to you.
And keep an eye on our new
Yeah.
show. Maybe
We're also trying to
Amazon.
maybe edit some highlights for season 1.
yeah.
Maybe
Try to
we'll
check it
edit
out.
some new highlights for you to check it out. If you don't want to listen to the whole episode, maybe we have something short for you to get to know us. Okay,
Yes.
and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.